In today's video, we are doing a full face of nothing new. Hey guys, welcome back. I hope that you're having a great day today. If you are new here, my name is Julie and I'll help you find the best affordable beauty and drugstore makeup products. I'll show you how to enjoy your current makeup collection and help you to become more confident and elevate your beauty from the inside out by teaching you my best makeup techniques and sharing with you my most valuable life lessons. So if that resonates with you, you should subscribe and stick around. So I've been trying this new thing with my hair. I do have like this section here and kind of, this isn't as bad, but I'm still working out the kinks. But I bought one of these, is that like robe curls or something like that? And it has like the little bendy thing in it. But I've been trying to learn how to use this at night to give myself like some nice soft waves in the morning. Still working out the kinks, but I think today it turned out pretty good. I'll show you guys the back, which I honestly thought it was not going to turn out good. But let me turn around so you guys can see. So this is what the back looks like. So like I said, it's not exactly perfect, but I don't know, I like it and it's easy and I can just wake up, do my quiet time, and then take my hair out and I'm ready to film. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip my hair back, which I mean, I guess I could actually leave that in while I was filming, but I don't know. I like to kind of have my hair down when I film, but maybe I'll try it sometime to just leave it up because it doesn't look terrible in that little headband thing. I went ahead and of course I've done my skincare off camera, and then I went ahead and applied my primer, which I'm using the e.l.f. liquid poreless putty primer. I went ahead and put that all over before I started filming, and also moisturized my lips with the Vaseline Lip Therapy Rosy Lips. And I feel like I have a little black speck on my lips. So today we're going to do a full face of nothing new, and I wanted to revisit some of the products that I hauled about in my full face of new drugstore makeup video. So I did want to test out my Believe Beauty Foundation with the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. Like, this product is not as long wearing as my Revlon Color Stay, and I wanted to see if this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is really helping my foundations to last longer, because honestly with Revlon Color Stay it's hard to tell, and this foundation I would say lasts like anywhere from like 8 to 9 hours on me. So I want to test this out today to see if it does help this foundation to last longer. So I'll report back. I'll put a little note in the video letting you guys know if I felt like it helped my foundation, if it helped this foundation to last longer. So, and I'm just using my Wet n Wild, my Damp and Wet n Wild makeup sponge to blend out this foundation. But it's been a minute since I have used this Believe Beauty foundation. But it is one of my favorite, just like natural looking foundations. So I felt like there was some stuff I was going to talk to you guys about today, and now that I started filming, I've totally forgotten. But over the weekend, I was trying to figure out like something for Josh and I to do together, because it's like winter and there's really not a lot to do. At least like where we live, it's like we could go out to eat to different restaurants. There's a lot of good restaurants in our area. You know, I mean, a lot of times in the summer months, we go to like the park or the forest and do like hikes and stuff. But I'm not one of those people that likes to hike when it's like 8 degrees outside. Maybe there are those people that are like that, but that is not me. So I remembered like when Josh and I first started dating, we got into doing puzzles. So we started doing a puzzle that we already had, and then that kind of like spurred me to get more puzzles. So I've really been into puzzling like over the weekend, and I'm like currently working on a puzzle, but I just kind of forgot how much I actually really enjoy doing puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles. And I was doing some research this morning, and as you guys know, in my video that I posted, I guess maybe like not last week, but the week before, where I talked to you guys about my childhood experience with getting diagnosed with ADD, or ADHD, attention deficit disorder, and dyslexia. Also, thank you so much for all of your comments on that video. I need to respond back to everybody. It was just that all of you guys left such long, detailed comments. I just really want to be able to sit down and like respond to you fully. So I'm sorry that I haven't responded back, but I have read all of your sweet messages. But anyway, I was reading that doing jigsaw puzzles helps people with ADHD, like it helps improve like your concentration and focus, and all of that. So I was like, that's really awesome that I've been enjoying it, and it's probably helping me with my focus and concentration. So if maybe you're like me and struggle with ADHD, or have someone in your life that does, and you can get them involved in doing jigsaw puzzles, highly recommend. And you can do like research on it to see like what I'm talking about. I don't know if it's just a placebo effect, but I do think that Believe Beauty foundation went on a lot more smooth and blended out a lot better over top of the e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. I really like the way that looks, and honestly, like with this foundation, I feel like that primer did make my pores look a little less visible. I don't really notice that so much with like Revlon ColorStay, because I find that foundation doesn't emphasize my pores very much, since it is a more matte foundation. But this Believe Beauty foundation is more of a skin finish foundation, so it's not super matte, but it's not super dewy. Okay, so for the under eyes, I am using the Catrice Under Eye Brightener again. Really been enjoying this for brightening dark under eye circles. So I'm just going to tap that in under my under eyes, or on my under eyes. Do you guys have any like under eye brighteners that you use, that you enjoy? Let us know in the comments, because I'm always curious about new under eye brighteners. I still want to pick up the e.l.f. one and test that one out to see if it's the same as this one or different. I know I keep mentioning that, but it's like one of those things that I haven't really been out shopping very much, so I don't really think about it until I start filming these videos for you guys. But maybe I could make an e.l.f. online purchase, or maybe pick up some things from Ulta and do an Ulta order and get it that way. This week, it's a very rainy week where I live. Like it started raining yesterday, and it's gonna rain until like Sunday or Monday of next week. Okay, and then for my under eye concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I'm trying to keep this one in my rotation. It's like this concealer has slowly like grown on me since I did that Maybelline concealer review, where I purchased all the Maybelline concealers and tried to figure out like which one I felt was the best. And this one came in number 2, but the more I use it, the more I think I like it just as much as the activewear concealer, maybe more. Also, I've been meaning to tell you, So I did check into the L'Oreal True Match concealer because if you've watched some of my other Get Ready With Me videos, I was mentioning in those videos that it kept making my eyes water every time I went to use it. And that concealer does have alcohol as like the third ingredient. So I will not be using that concealer anymore. I just find it too irritating for me. Maybe if you have super like oily under eyes or something like that, maybe it would work well for you, but I just cannot afford anything to dry out my under eyes. So that I am going to be throwing out or giving it to somebody else if they would like it. So but I did want to update you guys on that because some of you guys might have been curious. And I'm just putting a little bit more concealer like on my nose and around my mouth area. But I especially like to use this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser with foundations that have a little bit more of a glow or a natural finish because it has like a glowy natural finish. And I just really like pairing it with foundations like that have the same sort of finish. Because I feel like it looks weird sometimes when you're wearing a natural finish or glowy foundation and then your concealer is matte, or vice versa. Like if your foundation's matte but your concealer is illuminating, that way it doesn't look quite as odd as the other way around. But for powder, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. It's been a minute since I have used this, and while I was away from YouTube, this was one of my favorite setting powders, but I feel like since I've come back, I've been kind of just focusing mostly on drugstore. So I wanted to use this again since I'm doing like a full face of nothing new. It kind of gives me an opportunity to use some products that I haven't used in a bit. I need to wash my little sponges that I have over here. I feel like they are kind of dirty, and every time I go to use them, I feel like they have cat hair on them. Like, I do such a good job with trying to make sure that I don't have cat hair on things, but I don't know if I need to get like a HEPA filter in here or what, but it's just like cat hair is embedded in every area of my life. But I'm just using the, let me wipe this off. I was just using the e.l.f. flat top powder brush to set everything. And this little powder poof it came in the Marilyn Monroe, Wet n Wild Marilyn Monroe collection. But I'm just gonna use a little bit of that to set the under eyes. And then for my eyebrows, I'm using the Maybelline Build a Brow. And first I'm going to go in with a gel just to brush my eyebrows up. And then I'm going to go in with the pen side to just fill in any gaps. And then I'll go back with the gel one more time to set everything in place. And while the gel is drying before I go in with the pen, I'm going to use the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer to prime my eyelids, so this can also be drying. In Monday's video, I talked about my favorite single one and done eyeshadows in my collection. I told you guys I was going to be featuring those eyeshadows in different Get Ready With Me videos, tutorials, and all that. And today I'm going to be using one of those shadows, and I'm going to use MAC Woodwinked eyeshadow. And this is one of their, I think it's like Velour Pearls. I think it might be Velux Pearl. So it's like one of their really shimmery eyeshadows, and it almost has a slight kind of duochrome sort of effect in the shadow. So I'm just going to use my finger to apply it to the eyelid at first, and then I'm going to go in with a blending brush and blend it around. I might actually take a little bit of it on like a flat shader brush here. And I'm going to place it here on the eyelid. I'm just using my Profusion Dual ended brush. And then I'm going to take more of that shade on the fluffy blending brush side and lightly blend that in my crease. So I just wanted to show you guys like what I mean about it being kind of like a duochrome shade. So I hope that you can tell. So as you can see in the crease there, it looks a little like darker, like more of like a burnt sort of orange color. And then on the lid, it's golden. So that's why I really like this as a one and done shade, is it looks like you've used two different eyeshadows, but it's the same shadow. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of this color and run it on the lower lash line here. Then I'm going to go back with a Q-tip and kind of clean up right here. I kind of got that shade a little further over than I wanted it to go. So I'm just going to kind of wipe some of that shadow off. And I'm going to go back with my little sponge here and just clean that up. And then I do want to add a highlight to this look. So I'm going to go in with this other MAC eyeshadow in Dazzle Light. This is a good dupe to that Milani highlight shade that I always use. And I'm going to use that as my brow bone highlight, which hopefully they still make Dazzle Light. Like I probably should look. It's like I could be recommending another discontinued item. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you've been on YouTube for a while and you have a lot of makeup in your makeup collection. It's just like things get discontinued and they could be things that you still love, and I'm going to continue to use them even if they're not available. I mean, I have gotten rid of some discontinued items from my makeup collection, but they were items that either I didn't use very much and it was just collecting dust, or I just didn't like the items anymore. But if it's something that I like, I'm not going to get rid of it just because it's discontinued. So I'm popping a little bit more of this in the inner corner. And I just always like using either a shimmery highlight shade or just some sort of highlight shade in the inner corner and on my brow bone, just because it does open my eyes up a little bit more. And I really like that. And then I'm using, actually, I think I'm going to use this today because I probably need to use this up. But this is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter. This is also a discontinued product, but I like to use a pinky color like this in the waterline to also open up my eyes and make them look a little bit bigger. I find that it's like a little bit more flattering and less harsh than using a stark white in the waterline. And see, that's just such a pretty one and done eyeshadow. Just so gorgeous. Like I always forget how much I love MAC eyeshadows until I start using them again. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like why do I stop using these? They are so good. And they make so many good, just like single one and done shades. For bronzer today, I wanted to revisit this Milani bronzer. It's their Cheek Kiss Cream Bronzer, and this is in the shade Spilling Tea 120. I think I may use this e.l.f. cream and powder face brush here. And I'm gonna use, I've got like a cat here once again in this product. I'm going to use like the fluffy side and get some of this bronzer on this brush. And this bronzer is a little bit more like dark for me, a little bit more intense. So I'm just going to like dab it on the back of my hand so I don't apply too much of it at once. Kind of go back and forth like so. And then I'm just going to just kind of stamp it on the skin. It's like I definitely don't have issues with it going over top of powder. I do, however, feel like this is getting a little too like dark for my skin coloring right now. But I thought that I might be able to get away with this today since I'm doing like a more warm toned eyeshadow look. But I wanted to see how this wore throughout the day because I feel like the first time I wore this, it wasn't like super long wearing from what I remembered. So I want to use it again and see how it wears today. So I will put like a commentary in the video letting you guys know how it wore. But it's very bronzing, really warms up the face. A little bit here on my chin. It's like, even if it's too dark, we're not gonna be able to tell because my hoodie comes up pretty far. I'm just curious, are any of you guys out there like me where you can kind of get away with using both warm and cool toned products? I don't know. I get so confused if I'm a warm skin tone or a cool skin tone. I honestly feel like I'm kind of neutral or in the middle where I could swing either way depending on the season and how much tan I have. Okay, another item that I wanted to test out a little bit more is this Revlon gel blah, 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 is the Revlon Illuminance Gel Serum Blush. And the color that I picked up was something rose. It doesn't say anywhere on the packaging, I don't feel like, but it just has the number, which is 120. Anyway, I was seeing that a lot of other like beauty influencers were saying that this was too sheer for them. And I kind of got the same feeling when I first blended it out, but then when I went in with the second layer, I felt like it was pretty intense. But now it's intrigued me, and I want to use it a little bit more to find out, is it too sheer? Like, do I like it? I mean, it's definitely a little bit more like of a jelly or almost like sheer consistency compared to my e.l.f. camo blushes or like the Rare Beauty blushes. So it isn't quite as intense as those blushes, and if you're used to those types of blushes, I could see where you might be like a little disappointed in this product. But I don't think it's horrible, at least not this shade. But it is like one of those products where I feel like it can be like almost a little too concentrated sometimes. And then when you go to blend it out, it almost like shears it out way too much. Like, watch, when I go over it with a makeup sponge, sometimes I feel like it kind of shears it out. But see, like, I don't feel like that looks too sheer. So, I don't know, maybe it's all in the way that you apply it. I always put it to the back of my hand, dip my brush in there, and then apply it to the cheeks, and like it's kind of staining, like as you can see. I think that this product just has to be built up a little bit more than those e.l.f. blushes. I wouldn't say that this is like an amazing cream blush that you need to run out and purchase, but I'm like, I can definitely make it work. I feel like my bronzer got down a little bit too far on that side. And then since I have a golden eyeshadow today, I want to use the Balm Mary Luminizer for my highlight shade today. This is more of like a champagne gold. Yeah, I really like that. Take a little bit more on my nose, on my Cupid's bow. Okay, and then I'm going to set everything, of course, with my makeup setting spray. Urban Decay All Nighter. Try not to get this on my curls too much. And for my mascara, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High mascara in Burgundy Haze. Like, I recently also hauled about this, and I've only used it that one. Well, no, I take that back. I did use this another time off camera, but I wanted to use it again today. I do find that this color is a bit more like purple compared to the L'Oreal Deep Burgundy mascara. So if you'd rather have like a more purple burgundy than a reddish burgundy, this would be more of the mascara for you. But the shade of burgundy is pretty subtle, and it almost just has more of like a brown mascara effect. So, but I'm going to apply several coats of this to my upper and lower lashes, and then I'll come back and we'll pick out the shade that I'm going to use on my lips today. So I have a couple other of these Maybelline SuperStay ink crayons that I never tend to reach for. I always use the shade in Trust Your Gut, but I have two other shades in On the Grind and Talk the Talk. And I think today I'm going to wear Talk the Talk. I think that this would be really pretty. Oh, this just actually reminded me. My mom gave me one of the Tower 28 Shine On Milky Lip Jellies because she had bought two of the same color on accident. So this is in the shade Coconut. I might use this over top of that Maybelline ink crayon. But I did want to compare Trust Your Gut. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess I was at the end of that. Yeah. Well, we've almost used this product up. The little pencil fell out of the container. But I think Trust Your Gut might be like a little bit more cool toned, where Talk the Talk might be a bit more warm and maybe even lighter. Let's compare. Okay, yeah, it is. So I have a little bit of that blush still like stained. I don't know if it's necessarily warmer, but it's a little bit lighter in color than Trust Your Gut, which so funny because I thought that Trust Your Gut was more of this shade, but it's definitely darker. I'll have to use Talk the Talk a little bit more because I do like that color, but we almost have completely used On the Grind, or not On the Grind, Trust Your Gut up. Trust Your Gut up. All right, so let's top with the Tower 28 lip gloss in Coconut. Like, my mom really likes this lip gloss and she has so many different shades in it. But I used this the day that she gave it to me, and it definitely tastes like coconut. So I would say it's like pretty comparable to any of the other like lip oils out there. It has like more of like a lip oil feel to it. I feel like I need to like fluff up the curls a little bit. But I'm really liking how the curls turned out today with that little tool to do curls. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this full face of nothing new. If you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for spending your day, your time with me today, your morning, whenever you're watching this. And I hope that you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye-bye.
You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art.